Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. Today we're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series, and we'll be taking a look at the Vault. Now, I absolutely love this dungeon due to all the gothic architecture in here, but the bosses also are some of the most interesting that we'll come across so far. Each of these fights is single. You can't pull multiple groups, because every time you kill a group, it opens up the passageway to the next one, so the groups will all come to you also once you reach a certain point. So just take out the first group, and then proceed through the door that opens up into the next one. The Deacon is a caster, so you do want to fight on top of them. The fire spells that they spam out can be interrupted. So if you can time it correctly, it's quite a quick cast, but if you can get it, then that'll save you a little bit of damage. Since all these units are coming to you, instead of you having to aggro them, keep an eye out for them charging your healer if they're healing in between fights. This should open up the door for the first boss. Now when this fight starts, the boss will be in the middle and there will be 3 adds with him. Just go ahead and burn the adds down and then kill the boss. It's a very simple fight to begin with, because it's not technically the true boss fight until after he dies the first time. After he gets down to about 25% HP, he'll push you back, transform into his more powerful form, and then that's when the true fight starts. Holiest of Holy is just a damaging AoE that will need to be healed through. He does do a frontal 3 strike attack that can hit anyone in front, so just be wary of this. He will pick units and charge them, and it stuns them, and then after the stun, he'll do an attack on them. This is unavoidable, so there's nothing you can really do about it. When he starts charging around the room, then he will leave spheres behind him as he charges. These will then later explode, so you'll want to move away from them. He will pick a unit that he is going to land on after he finishes charging, so that person will want to get away from the rest of the group so they don't take damage from the slam down that he does. Proceeding up the stairs from the first boss, you'll head to the right. There will be more groups of enemies that come charging at you. They'll come from the halls on the left-hand sides, so just keep an eye out for them. Proceeding into this room, when you go towards the exit, then the 2 statues will come alive. This is whenever units start having AoE abilities to watch out for. Black Nebula is a damaging AoE that has to be healed through. You can stun them to interrupt it. The next area will have a few of the units in the previous section, along with a few chess knights. So you have the Black Knight and the White Knight. Both of these units have AoE abilities that will slow you if they hit you. And this opens up the gate for the second boss. The second boss, like the first one, has a beginning phase that is pretty much nothing. You just beat him down, and then once he transforms into his second form is whenever the real fight starts. This fight will have a ton of AoEs that you will need to watch out for. The beginning fight, he has a frontal cone AoE that is untelevised, and he'll also do line AoEs that your party can just move out of. When he goes into his second form, there are red circles on the ground that what his AoE will do any damage to anything inside of the red circle. His frontal overpower ability just gets bigger, so you'll want to make sure that he's facing away from the party. And he'll start doing hyperdimensional slash. This does a good amount of damage to anyone hit by it, but also opens up a portal wherever it is at that if you're too close to it will continuously damage you. Faith Unmoving knocks anyone back, which can push you into the portals, so you'll want to make sure that you're not positioned with a portal behind you whenever this ability is being cast. Dimensional Rip does a AoE and then puts a purple circle on the ground that if you move into it will pull you in and cast heavy on you. The ethereal tear damage that is caused to you when you get too close to them also provides a stacking damage up debuff. So eventually we'll end up one-shotting you if you keep getting pushed into them. Proceeding on after the second boss will be more golems and more of the chest knights. Just be wary of all the AoEs that they have, and then try and stun the face of the hero as they're casting Dark Nebula, as that's the uninterruptible damage that you'll get from this fight. Moving into the last area, there'll be a few units like in the first one that will rush after you. The Vault Priest that is in this room here is a normal unit until he gets down to about 50% of his HP, and then he starts casting a spell to summon other units. So if you want to kill everything else first and then focus on him, it's probably the best idea. The summoning will kill the priest, and then the gargoyles around the room come alive. Each of these has a Horror Eye ability, which will be a large circle AoE. Defeating them will open up the passageway to the last boss. Now for the last boss, he will start off already in his final form, so there's not going to be a mid-fight transformation. So he is a spellcaster from the very beginning. His spells are not interruptible though, so you'll just have to decrease the damage as much as possible and your healer will heal through it. Heaven's Flame is a circle AoE under all units. So you'll just need to move out of this. After this, he'll pick 2 units and link them together. These units need to move away from each other to stop the AoEs from continuing to pepper them. He'll spawn knights, the front side of the arena, that will march to the back side, and you just need to stand in the gaps to avoid getting hit by this ability. And he also has a raid-wide or party-wide damaging ability that will just need to be healed through. When he teleports away and summons the 2 chest knights, the holy flames will need to be destroyed, and you'll have to dodge the AoEs from the chest knights the whole time this is happening. The AoE that he is channeling's damage will continue to rise as long as the holy flames are alive, so it's just a race to destroy the holy flames as quick as possible. The chest knights should disappear after this, and then it'll go back to phase 1 again. Continue to dodge the chest knights as they appear, and move out of the Heaven's Flame. Heaven's Flame will start being cast twice in succession now. The chained party members still need to continue to move away from each other to break the chain. That should be it for the vault. I hope this helped a few of you out, and if it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.